continuing the put up process. I'm gonna be going through suitcases, putting up the rest of the clothes today. I think I only have my husband's clothes left, and then I'm gonna do some laundry. So last night my husband and I were talking. I think I'm gonna make Wednesdays, it's gonna be Wednesday wash days. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I wash clothes, fold clothes, put them up. We do have a little laundry, it's not a lot. So I'm gonna start with my children's laundry, since it's not a lot. Then I'm gonna start with our laundry, it's not a lot. And then I'm just gonna wash them, put them up and everything. I'm gonna organize our kitchen cabinets and the counter space or whatever. And just probably just chill after that. Took a trade yesterday on Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar last night. Made like $177 on it really quick. So I'm gonna take you guys through that. I'm gonna take you guys to a few currency pairs later on as well throughout the day too. And I'm just gonna let that be. I don't have a lot to do today. Really chill day to day with the kiddos. So that's about it. But anyway, let me go, straighten up, get them fed, and I'll come back. Okay, you guys, so I've straightened it out as good as it's gonna be until I get the little containers or whatever to put, like, take things out of these boxes and store them in. So this is as good as this side is going to get. So now I'm about to work on the other side and you know, clean some of this stuff out. And so I'll tell you guys what my stuff is really quick, because I don't eat all this stuff. So most of it's the kids, but I love my oatmeal. My children and I, we love these Chips Ahoy. My husband's from New York, you know, so they do these donuts like this all the time. And I like the little tuna stuff. And I love almonds. Like, I don't know what it is about these peanuts right here, but I really do like them. Oh, I got stuff on my hand. I love these brittles. You know, we're a chip family, but for the most part, vinegar and salt, not salt and vinegar, you guys. It's vinegar and salt. I love Tom's vinegar and salt. So good. I'm a chocolate girl, you know. Around the time of that month, I have to have my chocolate. We do Tostitos and dips a lot. We like, what is that really Tostitos? It's the blue chips tortillas that we like. And then, you know, we get our dip within whatever. And then, you all done? Okay, I'll throw it away for you. Okay, baby girl, you can get down and go wash your hands. And then we have, you know, the kids snacks and stuff over here. And I'm trying out this new popcorn. This boom chicka pop. I'm trying it out to see how it tastes. My husband loves pistachio nuts. I can't stand those things. But other than that, this is the snack cabinet. I need to get some little clips for these chips to fold them down a lot better. I'm gonna just put them in some Ziploc bags. But other than that, you guys, that's it. It's organized how I like it right now. And then we'll see how I do a little bit later. Today's video, I want to recap yesterday and take you guys through what I'm seeing for today. Some really great potential trade setups today. And so let's go ahead and let's get into it. Okay, so whenever I look at currency pairs, I like to group currency pairs. And what I mean by grouping is I like to group currency pairs, like base currency pairs that have the same base currency within them. Like, for example, AUD USD. The base currency is the Australian dollar. And so within that same group, you have Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar CAD, Australian dollar Swiss, Australian dollar JPY, right? And what I want to do is see which currency pairs is moving in the same direction based on the Australian dollar economy. Because if they're moving within the same flow, you can potentially catch and maximize your profit potential within the same direction that price is already moving in. Although they're traded against other currencies, what it's allowing you to do is saying, hey, if the Australian dollar is strong at the moment, which it is, or if it's weak at the moment, which it's not, I want to go ahead and capitalize off of that information, right? But then what you can also do is the major within the base, which, for example, this is the Australian dollar, US dollar, you can then turn around and say, hey, what currency pair trades opposite of the Australian dollar? For us, or for you, looking at this, it's actually the pound Australian dollar. And so if you look at it from a higher time frame perspective, what you'll find is when the Australian dollar, US dollar is going to the upside, pound AUD will maybe be going to the downside, right? So that's what I like to look at. So that's what we're going to do. So it kind of reminds me of math class, right? Like if you were adding 1 plus 1, you're going across the board. But remember when you had to trade reciprocals, you had the one fraction and then you had to turn the other fraction around and then maybe sometimes analyze it, or what's the word I'm looking for? You had to do the math diagonally, right? It kind of reminds me of that. So if I'm grouping the pairs, I'm trading across the board. But when I'm looking at opposites, I'm trading diagonally. So, you know, just to turn your mindset inside out. So that's how I kind of look at these currency pairs from time to time. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at the Australian dollar. So yesterday I was telling you guys that Australian dollar is bullish. If we look at the exchange rates here, we can see that the exchange rates per the daily time frame is going to the upside, right? So our exchange rates are pushing up, and now we finally have closed today as a rejection candle. The last 2 days we closed as inverted hammers. Today we're closing as a rejection candle. And what this could mean potentially now is that we see the bullish information. We could see price push back up to 72430, and then even we could see even push up further potentially. And the reason why I'm saying further potentially is because if we could stay above that exchange rate right here, if we could stay above this exchange rate, what we could possibly see price do is have a trend continuation move back up to the upside, where we can potentially make a new low. And I'm going to estimate it come here around 0.72850. I'm just going to round it out for 0.72860, okay? And if that's the case, this could be a nice target for 2 trade setups, for 2 potential targets, right? And so this is how I'm looking at Australian USD. So really quick analysis. I don't believe analysis has to be hard. I don't believe it has to be long. I believe like once you see what you see, you stick to it. Now, when it comes to trading, I like to do like a 1, 2, 3 hit combo. And I teach this every single week in my private trading group, Swing Trading Society. And I mention this every single week to my private clients who I teach in my 1 Candlestick to Profit program or in my one-on-one sessions. 1 of 4 candles is what we look at. So one of the 4 candles that's presented itself here is the rejection candle. And because the rejection candle is presented itself here, that's one of my 4 leading candles. And that's one of my rules that I like to be made. It's 3 rules. Number 1 is trend. Price is pushing up to the upside, so we can see the evidence of an uptrend. Number 2 is structure. That red zone for me is my market structure. So as long as price meets structure, I have a trade set up. The third thing that we wait on, though, is for price to confirm whether it's going to stay above, because price is bullish. We're not looking for anything below. If anything drops below that zone, it still needs to drop below this exchange rate for us to say we have to do the opposite. But because we're above the zone, we're going to look for price to, you know, confirm that it can stay above. And with that rejection candle, that's a strong indication. Whether we win or lose the trade, we still have to follow our rules and enter into the trade setup. No one can tell you if you're going to lose the trade but the market. No one can tell you if you're going to win the trade but the market. So keeping those rules in mind, anytime you see your setup, take the trade. So with that being said, this time look at the trade. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. So now trading across the board, again, we're going to look at Australian New Zealand. Now, Australian New Zealand dollar is a pair that, a trade that I took last night, overnight. It hit targets while I was asleep. And I want to share the trade setup with you guys. So I'm going to zoom in here so you guys can see how I'm seeing it, okay? If you notice these candles here, you notice that price keeps pushing up, up, up. There's no sign of a pullback right now, right? And when I say pullback, I mean something that's really steep. A pullback that looks like this. There's no sign of a pullback like that yet. And I noticed that, and I kept noticing that these wicks were getting higher and higher and higher and higher, which lets me know that now I need to use multiple time frame analysis, because on this specific time frame, price is not giving its way up, or giving its way down. It's not pushing down. So I dropped down to my 4-hour time frame to see what was really going on. If you guys hear my kids in the background, I'm a mom who trades from home. This is reality. Children in the background, okay? So as you guys notice, the exchange rates on the 4-hour, we're making higher highs, higher lows, higher lows. Notice this, and I said, well, at this point in time, price was right here when I started to notice this, and I said, well, if I can get some bullish information from this zone, then I'll, more than likely want to take a trade to the upside per the 4-hour time frame, a really quick buy setup. And that's exactly what I did. I added my fill from the previous low to the previous high here, And I took this trade around 10 o'clock at night. I was up on my charts. I was watching YouTube, watching a series, all of us, from the early 2000s. And I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and see what's going on Australian, New Zealand dollar. And I took this trade set up, this from this candle right here, this bullish inverted hammer. Price was already right here before this candle formed. And I went ahead and took the buy. And when I took the buy was somewhere here. And this is how my trade setup ended up looking. So somewhere within here. Let's make sure we get these numbers right as well too. Probably been a little bit lower, but that's all good. Okay, so this is how my setup looked. Okay. And I ended up getting in the trade. And as you guys can see, I had a really decent risk to reward. I do think my risk to reward was a little bit higher. I think it was around like, it was probably like the 1.4s, early 1.5s, to be honest with you guys. And it was a really, really good trade. And let's talk about risk to reward ratio for a quick second. Anytime you're looking at your risk to reward, the thing about risk to reward is you're dividing your stop loss number into your, sorry, I got messages. You're dividing it by your take profit number, right? So this one number, and even though it's not as accurate, but this one number divided by this one number for your pips, that's where your risk reward ratio comes from, okay? And if my number, my risk reward ratio is over a 1, the number here in the middle, if it's over 1, I'm going to take that trade setup. I know people have rules such as take a trade where your risk reward is like a 1.2 or 1.3. I don't take those because even, I take those, but I don't trade by those rules. It's okay if I have a trade that's maybe at a 1.4 or a 1.5 or a 1.6 because I'm not going to limit myself from not taking potential trade setups like that just to trade a ridiculous rule, in my opinion, that if it's not a 1.2 or 1.3, it's not worth it, because it actually is. You can't dictate what your system gives you. If your system says, hey, I can give you 70 pips, but you're going to risk 40 pips. Okay, well, my risk is still lower than my reward. That's what you want to see anytime that we're trading, okay? So, you know, just always keep that in mind. Have your rules specifically for how you want to trade. For me, as long as my risk reward is above a 1, I will take the trade. It can be a 1.2, it could be a 1.5, it could be a 1.10. That's fine. But a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-1 plus is always good too, as long as you're not risking more than what you can make, okay? So this is a really good setup. Now I'm just waiting to see what price does here to see if I can have another potential trade. If not, it's okay. There's other fish to fry here. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get into the opposite, right? We looked at Australian dollar. We looked at Australian New Zealand dollar. Now let's look at a pair that correlates oppositely, and that's going to be pound AUD. Now, dealing with pound AUD, I want to show you guys how I'm looking at this, okay? And I want to explain this. If I'm looking for the Australian dollar to go up because it fits my rules, always trade, even if it fits your rule, you don't know if you're going to win or lose. Let the market tell you if you're wrong. Let the market tell you if you're right. No one can tell you but the market, right? But if I'm looking for this pair to push, or AUD to push up, I'm kind of going to be looking for pound AUD to push down. Now, for me, potentially right here, I am looking for a higher low. And I'm thinking that this higher low can come somewhere in here, in this region here. And if that is the case, I want to trade that information. So I don't have a setup yet on this pair, but hopefully if pound AUD keeps pushing down, it could be confirmation that AUD USD for me will go up. And so that's what I'm looking at, right? So just analysis, because my exchange rates are pushing down. Now we have a higher high here. Now I'm looking to see if price will come and give me a higher low here and then continue to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at. So this is just analysis for the future. If the opposite happens, that's fine. At least I'm, sticking to my rules. That's it. That's all we can ever hope for and do. So let's look at USD Swiss while we're here. USD Swiss right now is meeting my rules as well too. This would be a really good trade setup using my fibs because I'm just a Fibonacci girl. So what I'm looking to do here is I am looking to take a potential trade setup back down into the 90-cent region because we have a bearish engulfing candle today. We're below this exchange rate attached to one of my leading candles. Price has now created another leading candle for me, a spinning top. and it's rejecting here at my Fibonacci area as well too for last confirmation. So what I'm looking to do is take a short sale, like I said, into the 90-cent range, the 90-cent zone. And if all plays well, this will be a really good trade setup to the downside at my -27 at the 90-cent range. Quick short sweep analysis. USDJPY is another one that I may be looking to trade tomorrow. If we get bearish information tomorrow, I will be looking to sell because price is now at one of my zones where I can take another trade. If it gives me bearish information, because we do have a very nice, beautiful lower low, I'm looking for this to be my lower high area, and then price continues down. So I'll be updating you guys on this tomorrow. Gold. I had to adjust some things on gold, but gold today is closing as a doji. I don't have anything here for gold at the very moment. I am out of my hedge. I actually got out of my sale yesterday. I was in a buy since last week. I got out of my sale, and I made some profits on my sale. Now, if tomorrow is bearish, I will get into another sale. If not, I'll be sitting on my hands. But because I want to see if price is going to recover to get me out of the buy for break even, or if it would continue back up to the upside, then I'll just stay in my buy. But if not, I'll get back into a sell to hedge the position again, to stop the bleeding, to make some profits on this way down. So this is how I'm looking at these pairs for today, you guys. There are a lot of other great opportunities as well out here. And what I want you guys to do is to be safe as you're trading and follow your rules. Like I said, I have a 1, 2, 3 combo hit system, right? Trend, structure, price action. Those are the only 3 rules I'm looking to come together. If they're not there, I don't trade it. And you guys try it too. You know, look at the trend, see what direction price wants to go in. Because if you buy, you're basically saying price is going up. If you sell, you're basically saying price is going down. It's literally that simple, right? What type of structures are you using? For me, I just use a zone. I'll use a simple trend line sometimes, and Fibonacci. That's really honestly about it, right? I know you guys see indicators. I do use an MA and an EMA, but I only use them in certain market conditions, and the market condition is trending, right? And then other than that, just price action. I let price action be my structure. Price action is my guide, and I stay to the right of my price charts, you guys. So that's really about it. But if you have any questions, you guys, let me know. And if you're interested in becoming a private client of mine where I teach you one-on-one for 3 weeks or 8 weeks, let me know. If you're looking for something where you can get a course with it and you still want me to teach you every single week, then join the One Candlestick to Profit program. Or if you want to learn from me every single week, we have back testing sessions, which we'll have one tonight. I host 1 monthly masterclass, and we analyze the charts together every single week in the market. Let me know too that, you guys, it's the Swing Trading Society, where I teach people how to hold trades longer and confidently. And I help them simplify what they already know, just to, you know, get them into the groove of looking at less but trading more. And so if that's something that you're looking at for any of these, you guys, the links are down below and you can contact me from there. So without further ado, you guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, have the notification bell on, and I will talk to you guys later.